Michael J. Fox was born in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, on June 9, 1961. His full name is Michael Andrew Fox. He was the fourth child in a busy family with 3 sisters, a brother, and a child from a previous marriage. William Fox, his father, was a police officer and a part of the Canadian Forces. He lived a good life, getting Michael used to structure and duty from a very young age. His mother, Phyllis, was creative and strong, and she worked as both an actor and a payroll clerk. These traits would stay with him forever. Michael grew up in a family like this, where he experienced both the joy of a close-knit family and the difficulties of moving around all the time because his father was in the military and sent them from city to city. William Fox retired from active service in 1971, and that was the year that the family finally found a permanent home in Burnaby, a suburb of Vancouver, British Columbia. This gave Michael a sense of stability and community while he developed. Michael has always been interested in a lot of different things. He became very interested in ice hockey as a child, just like many other Canadian kids do. For a while, he thought of becoming a professional hockey player and making it to the National Hockey League. But his small size made it hard for him to handle the rough and tumble world of professional hockey. And this limitation made him look into other interests. Michael became interested in the arts when he was a teenager. He became interested in music and learned to play the guitar. He also became interested in the visual arts and performing. Because he loved sharing stories and expressing himself, he was naturally drawn to acting, which would become the most important thing in his life. Michael's dedication to acting was clear when, at the surprisingly young age of 15, he took a big step into professional acting. He tried out for the Canadian TV show Leo and Me, which is made by the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, CBC, and got the part right away because of how good he was. This early experience not only confirmed his love for the subject, but it also taught him important skills for working in front of the camera. Over the next few years, he built his resume with small TV roles and performances in local theaters, slowly building confidence and getting better at what he did. Aside from that, he was in American movies that were filmed in Canada. This gave him experience in both the American and Canadian entertainment businesses, which would help him in the future. Michael made the important choice to move to Los Angeles, California, the center of the American entertainment industry, when he was 18. He was determined to move up in his work. In the beginning, he had to deal with the often tough world of small parts and auditions, showing that he was strong and determined despite the difficulties of breaking into Hollywood. In 1982, he got his big break when NBC cast him as Alex P. Keaton in the famous TV show Family Ties. Michael won the hearts of people all over North America for 7 years, from 1982 to 1989, by playing the eager but conservative young man. With his charm and depth of character, he won 3 Emmys and a Golden Globe, solidifying his position as one of the biggest stars on TV. At about this time, he also changed his screen name to Michael J. Fox, which was a tribute to another actor he liked and would become famous all over the world. Although Michael was having a lot of success on TV, he also had a big effect on movies. The part he played as Marty McFly in Robert Zemeckis' 1985 movie Back to the Future was truly legendary. The movie became a cultural phenomenon right away, thanks to its creative plot and Michael's lively and relatable performance. It also started a beloved series with sequels coming out in 1989 and 1990. Michael's work in the 1980s, besides Back to the Future, showed how versatile and popular he was. He became a teen hero thanks to movies like Teen Wolf, 1985, A Strange Look at Growing Up and Finding Out Who You Are. In 1987, he was in Light of Day, a musical movie with Joan Jett, and The Secret of My Success, a funny but very real look at ambition and working life in the business world. His serious skills were also noticed in the Vietnam War movie Casualties of War, 1989, in which he gave a performance that showed how versatile he is as an actor. Michael was having a great job when he was told he had Parkinson's disease, a progressive neurological disorder that would change his life. Even though he was facing a huge personal challenge, he decided to keep working, showing courage and determination that would inspire millions. After being diagnosed, he was in a number of movies, such as Doc Hollywood, 1991, a pleasant comedy drama, For Love or Money, 1993, a romantic comedy, Life with Mikey, 1993, in which he played a talent agent who was having a bad day, and Greedy, 1994, a darkly comedic look at family relationships. These projects showed how skilled he was and how he could connect with people even though he was sick and couldn't work. Michael continued to work with Gary David Goldberg, who created Family Ties, on the hit show Spin City in 1996. Fox once again proved his great comedic timing and ability to give TV characters depth by playing the charming and quick-witted deputy mayor of New York City. This made viewers happy and solidified his place as a beloved figure in nighttime TV. Around this time, he also made his last big movie role as Frank Bannister in Peter Jackson's The Frighteners, 1996. His performance, which mixed humor, suspense, and vulnerability, was praised by critics. He also did character work for animated movies and family-friendly shows like Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey, Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco, Stuart Little, and Atlantis, The Lost Empire. This made him even more popular with people of all ages. Even as his role on screen changed, Michael stayed involved with TV by making guest turns on popular shows like Scrubs, 2004, Boston Legal, 2006, Rescue Me, 2009, and The Good Wife, 2002. Many Emmy nominations and wins came from these appearances, showing that his skill and charm had not changed even though he had been through many personal and professional problems over the years. Michael J. Fox has written about his life and his work as an advocate in addition to playing. He wrote 3 wise books. The first was a memoir called Lucky Man, which came out in 2002 and was about his life in Hollywood and his first fight with Parkinson's. Always Looking Up, 2009, which is a reflection on being strong, being hopeful, and living life to the fullest even when things go wrong. And A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Future, 2010, giving people who are having a hard time hope, humor, and useful advice. These works not only show his own battles and successes, but they also give hope to millions of people around the world who are sick or going through hard times. Loved actor Michael J. Fox got married to his charming and talented co-star Tracy Pollan on July 16, 1988. Fox was best known for his part in the hit TV show Family Ties. Fans all over the world fell in love with their story, which began on the set of the show where they met and grew from there. It had all the romance of a Hollywood romance with a real, down-to-earth connection that many people respected. Over the years, their marriage has been a great example of love that lasts in a field where relationships often end quickly. Michael and Tracy have built a loving and active family with their 4 children. These kids have grown up with lots of creativity, fun, and their parents' unwavering love. Their journey together, juggling the demands of Hollywood fame with the duties of being a parent, has been both inspiring and touching. It shows how love, family, and strength can coexist in a beautiful way. Fans are still very interested in their story and are proud of both Michael J. Fox's groundbreaking work and the strong relationship and family life he has built with Tracy Pollan. At 64 years old, Michael J. Fox has given his fans an inside look into his private thoughts, including not only his thoughts on life and legacy, but also very specific people he does not want to attend his funeral. Fox didn't hold back when he called people out in an honest interview. He used his usual mix of humor, honesty, and sometimes sharp sarcasm. Some people were surprised by the list, but it shows how his personal sense of limits and the relationships that have shaped his life over decades in the entertainment business. Lea Thompson, who he worked with in the famous Back to the Future movies, is first on his list. Fox didn't shy away from explaining why Thompson fits into this group in his speech. Without a doubt, Lea is smart, but I've learned over the years that our relationship behind the scenes can get tricky, he said. We had artistic differences that never went away completely, and there were times when we didn't get along. I'd like my last goodbye to be free of any tension, even the tiniest bit of awkwardness. For her, skipping it is better. According to Fox, there is more to the story than meets the eye. There isn't open hostility, but there is an understanding that some relationships, no matter how well they work on screen, should be left behind during very private events like a funeral. Next, Fox talked about Patricia Heaton, another famous actress he has met at Hollywood events over the years. Patricia is beautiful and smart, Fox said, but she and I have never really connected on a deeper level. I've always valued honesty and kindness in the people I'm with, especially when they are dying. It's not that I don't like them. I just want to be with people who have really been a part of my journey for my own peace. The truth is that I wouldn't want her at my funeral, even though she's great at what she does. Fox's honesty is very moving, choosing to put his own mental well-being ahead of what people expect of him, which is a choice that many people might secretly admire. Fox also talked about Quentin Tarantino, a famous director whose daring style and creative ideas have made him famous all over the world. Fox said, "Let's just say we see the world in very different ways. Quentin is very good at what he does. I've always looked up to him. But funerals aren't the place to argue about ideas or criticize writing style. My family and best friends should remember me for who I was, not for how long we talked about film theory." Even though Quentin is very energetic, I'd rather not give him and everyone else that moment. Fox has a great sense of energy and mood, and this comment shows that she knows that even being brilliant can be too much for people who are feeling weak. Then there's Johnny Depp, whose personal life and work have been looked at by the public just as much as Fox's. Fox said that Johnny is clever and strange, a real one-of-a-kind person. However, I've noticed that over the years, even though he's magnetic, his presence can be disturbing in some places. I want my goodbye to be personal, thoughtful, and relaxing, not full of flashy stories or crazy pranks. So I'd like him to please sit this one out. Fox's method here is a good mix of humor and tact, showing respect for Depp's work while also setting clear limits for his own safety. Lastly, Fox talked about George Clooney, a friend and co-worker who is respected in the business. Fox said that George has a way of making people happy and is charming. But everyone has bad days, even the nicest ones. I also know that my funeral is not a place to make connections or show off your social skills. I need peace, comfort, and a feeling of quiet love all around me. Even though George is great, he might accidentally change the subject. And this is a moment I only want for the people I care about most. Fox's explanation shows that he gave atmosphere and purpose a lot of thought, showing that he wants to give the people he leaves behind an important personal experience. By writing about his thoughts, Michael J. Fox gives us a unique look into the mind of a man who has lived a public life, but is still very private and thoughtful. He is very careful about who he doesn't want at his funeral. It's not because he is angry or hateful, but because he has a deep understanding of emotional space, the subtleties of human interaction, and the need to honor his own last wishes in peace. He walks a fine line between being famous and being himself, as shown by the fact that every name he uses has a story, a link, and a limit. Fox wants his fans and followers to think about their own limits, the people they let into the most private parts of their lives, and how important it is to choose situations that show who they really are. His honesty, humor, and wisdom shine through, showing a man who is still thoughtful, deliberate, and clearly Michael J. Fox even as he thinks about death.